I'm devil's advocate, and I did a thing. So, like I said, I did a thing. And that thing was a race. Now, it's not just any race, it's a 5K race. And you say, well, advocate, that's not anything, that's not too bad. 3.1 miles, you should be able to handle that. Well, except that it's a 5K every hour for 6 hours. And you have to make it within the hour. Now, when it's all said and done, you're looking at 18.6 miles. Now, that's bad enough. In my infinite wisdom, I decided to do it with a 35-pound pack and ruck it like I'm some kind of high-speed ninja Delta SEAL Ranger. And yeah, I'm not. So I gave it a shot because I wanted to see where I stand. Trying to do these videos, I'm going to find myself off-grid, off-trail, in the middle of nowhere, miles away from my starting point. So in order to not become one of the missing persons in somebody else's cheap-made amateur YouTube videos, I want to make sure I get back. And so I wanted to see just, how far I could get and, how well I held up. I held up for a little while. Spoiler, I didn't make 18.6 miles. But I didn't do too bad. And I'll tell you later how far I got. So if any of you guys have ever done any kind of a 5K, 10K, marathon, or this particular race, leave me a comment. Let me know. Let us know, what race you did, how far you got, what your time was, things like that. So, like I said, this race was put on by Texas Outlaw Running. And you can find them on the Google webs. And if you do want to enter one of these races, they're still going on. They're nationwide, different cities across the nation, in different states. And, if you're a good runner, which I'm not, and you look good in those little shorty shorts, you get out there and run it because you could win $1,000. Now, I knew I wasn't going to get anywhere close to $1,000 or anywhere close to making championships, but again, I wanted to do something I've never done before and push myself a little bit. And a push it was. And I'll show you the trail, and I'll show you the event, what I can. And we'll take a look at what something like this looks like and kind of how it's handled. We had a fairly smooth start. We stopped at a QT to get some drinks and some snacks, use the restroom, and then get on our way. We hit I-30 West and went into Fort Worth. And everything was pretty smooth, pretty easy. Until we hit our first snag.
See what you think. I mean, I know it's of course it might not taste as spicy since you're. Oh God! There's an 18-wheeler behind us. Oh shit!
What the hell?
There's a blowout. That car had a blowout. I mean, this car is broken down.
After narrowly escaping death and making our way into Fort Worth, we had our second setback. And if you notice the clouds rolling in here, that'll kind of give you an indication of what we had coming up next. All right, team, Right here at Texas Outlaw running an event called Outlast, and I guess for Halloween, and we're going to do a run. Actually, I'm going to ruck it. It is a 5K every hour on the hour for 6 hours. And I guess in respect for the video game Outlast and the horror game that it is, we're going to do a horror of a run. We're going to get set up, get signed in, and get ready to start. So the clouds started closing in all around us, and things got a little hairy as far as the weather went, which forced the race to go to plan B. So we already got a man down.
Gross. I got a man down.
So with the weather the way it is, this is no longer going to be a trail run. This is going to be on concrete and pavement. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, weather moved in last night. Is what it is. So we're going to have to see if we can make 18.6 miles on concrete. I'll give it my best, but you guys pray for me. The lightning finally stopped. We got signed in and ready to go. Got our numbers. So everybody finally got together, got grouped up, and we started getting ready for the race. So with the wet weather, I couldn't get any of the YouTube obligatory drone footage that I wanted to get, but we still had a good turnout. We all got together, got our phones and GPS devices set, we got stretched out, and got ready to roll. All we needed now was the countdown.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Woo!
So we were off. Bad weather, water, mud and all, we were going after it. My girlfriend invited me to run this race with her and her friend, but I had a little more serious inspiration for running this race, actually loaded down with a pack. Yeah, I need to train to not die in the deep woods, but I also need to know my actual combat effectiveness. The reality that we're facing in our current political atmosphere is a little bit concerning. It is more likely that the everyday civilian will face organized violence today than any other time in our modern history. And if you're preparing to defend yourself, your home, your property, or even your country, you need to know what your limits are. Now, this race put me in my place, and it ripped away all my fantasies of where my fitness stands. Okay, guys, we made the first round. Now we gotta see if we make the second one. Now, this event, these events are supposed to be handled by a coordinator, I guess you'd call it, and a team of volunteers. This poor event coordinator had no volunteers. So she had to set everything up herself. She had to handle registration herself. She had to handle keeping up with the times herself. And she did an amazing job. Now, that being said, that wasn't her only setback. No. See, in the great city of Fort Worth, they have things there they call thieves. And those thieves broke into their truck in the middle of the night, stole all of their I call them number tags, they call them bibs, as you see back there in my vest, and stole all of those, stole their timekeeping equipment, stole the t-shirts, stole the stickers, and then sometime that night, a tornado came through and demolished all of their awnings and tents. So this is what this poor girl had to deal with, and yet still did an amazing job, and we still had a blast. So I would recommend, if you are into this sort of thing, check out Texas Outlaw Running and give one of their races a shot, because I can't imagine how awesome it would be if everything goes smoothly.
All right, guys, we're into round 2. Let's see if we can get through this. Survived round 3. Sun came back out, warmed up a little, made it really humid, so it changes things a bit. Yeah. Trying to be sure to drink more water. Alright guys, we're coming up on our halfway point the second time. And this is getting close to port. My body says no. This is as far as we go. And here's why I gotta ignore it. See if I can push through. Okay, here's our halfway point. I don't know if y'all saw it last time. My camera's doing sitting kind of weird. Second turn around. Here we go. Now we go back. And hope we make it. Just gotta keep that pace. I don't know if you guys can see. Sun's going down. We're all wet. It's gonna get chilly here in a little bit. Here's where we see how many people can push through. From what I hear, round 3 is what makes or breaks people. Let's see what we got. Ooh.
So I finally made it through round 2, and I made my time. They had a photographer on hand taking pictures of us as we suffered. Here's a few examples. And I started and completed round 3 within the time limit.
We're going to be starting loop 3 in about 10 minutes. That's the announcement. You know, welcome to these other tables under this tent. That is our aid station.
Where am I going?
When you're this tired, the tunnel vision is for real.
So yeah, it's about 9 minutes. We're going to be starting the next loop.
All right, Metallica, and I just had to go.
Are you rucking?
Yeah.
You know about a ruck,
Yeah.
right? Man, that's impressive.
Or stupid.
And so I pushed with all I had for that 4th round. That wasn't an issue of fatigue, it was mainly an issue of pain. And the pain was almost unbearable. But I finished it, which gave me, I think, a total of 12.6 miles when it was all said and done. I didn't quite make that 4th round time. I was about 5 minutes over. Here's where I met the reality of my limits and had to say goodbye to Outlast running. So what this has done is kind of lit a fire under me. I am going to do this again, but I am going to do it about 30 pounds lighter with a lot more ruck mileage under my belt when I go in. Texas Outlaw Running has a ruck race to 15K, but after my race, 15K is child's play. I want the 18.6 miles. I want that because I also want to go at some point and do the Norwegian foot march, which they also call the Norwegian Death March. And I don't want to be one of the ones who add to the legend of the death part. I've got to train a little more and get used to this kind of stuff, or used to this kind of wear and tear on my feet and my legs before I do that one. But I will do it, and when I do it, I'll videotape that, and we'll see how that goes. But this was a training session. Got rained on, rucked on concrete, and rucked for almost 12.5 miles. I think I'll be okay off trail in the woods because I can rest out there. I'm not racing anybody.
So after a breakfast of Pop-Tarts, this is what I ate during the race. I used these to keep my energy and my electrolytes up. And these Super Honeys came in really handy. Again, I didn't gas out, I just hurt. So if you ever get to Fort Worth, head over to Gateway Park. It's a beautiful park with beautiful scenery. And if you get a chance to run a race there, I would take it, because everything there was top notch.
So there you have it. That was my experience. Your mileage may vary, pun intended. But we all had a blast. We all set goals. We exceeded goals. We met our goals. We learned some things, and it was a very enjoyable evening, even though it was wet and muggy and sweaty and painful and tiring. But I can't wait to do it again. That's just how I am. But until next time, I appreciate you guys watching. If you got nothing better to do, leave a like and a comment. It don't cost much. And if you have any complaints, well, then I'll give you a P.O. box and you can mail them to me on $20 bills. I don't know. We'll do some more videos. Hopefully I'll get better at this and won't be quite so repetitive and boring. But we'll see. But as always, thanks for watching.